Hi folks, this week's AL.combat is about whether or not the government should regulate payday lending. Cameron Smith on my right, John Hammontree on my left are the combatants. I think maybe the essential issue, guys, and I'll let Cameron start, is it government's job to save people from themselves?
Well, I think that this is a critical issue for payday lending in that what a lot of these regulations are trying to do is make the business responsible for their consumers' habits. And at the end of the day, consumers need to be responsible for what they do.
Can you trust consumers to be responsible?
Well, I think we're looking at a business model that is currently targeting undereducated, underserved communities. You don't see these payday lenders setting up shop in Mountain Brook, Alabama. You see them setting up shop in places where we know that the high school dropout rate is higher. We know that education is poor. We know that incomes are lower.
So these people aren't smart enough to make a decision about lending? Is that what you're saying?
You know, don't put words in my mouth, Cameron. I think that that's a nice little soundbite that you just got there, but I think that you have people that are intentionally roping people into short-term loans that last 2 weeks that they know that they aren't going to be able to pay back. Senator Orr's bill would stretch that term out to 6 months, and you don't have to be super educated to know that that's a better model.
Government regulates pharmaceuticals, government regulates restaurants.
Absolutely, because in those instances, consumers don't have the information to make an informed decision. John's pulling a sleight of hand by saying, well, consumers don't know enough to make an educated financial decision, but there are rules about disclosure on these payday loans. They're on the website, on handouts. They know they're a 2-week term. They know the interest rates are high.
Hold on. I want to compare this to a model that's maybe targeted towards savvier consumers. You've got timeshares, for example. I don't know if you've ever sat through a timeshares meeting, but you go in there, they talk about here's 8 years of vacation with your wife, your kids, and it's gonna be a sound investment. It's gonna be worth a lot for you when they comes along, and then you don't realize that they're selling off more shares than they have weeks, and that ultimately you're getting a piece of paper that's not worth anything.
So you want to get rid of payday loans and timeshares?
No, what I'm saying is that this is an example of how even an educated consumer can be tricked into a risky business model.
So the government needs to save people from themselves.
And with that, we're out.